Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I'm a senior at the College of Worcester, and I'm going to be talking about how to have confidence in yourself as who you are. Um, so, thinking about how we are in new environments and the new academic year, this kind of offers, opportunities for a fresh start, and that can really help us, be okay with being ourselves. And the reason I think that's the case is because, um, it gives us a chance to sort of start over. If you've had time away, it gives you time to think or sort of reevaluate your position in life. Um, time to investigate some of those self struggles you've been having. People are consistently changing throughout their life, and I thoroughly believe that in 3 months, you're very capable of changing a lot. You can realize more things about yourself, realize your true passions, realize maybe certain relationships that are toxic to you that you need to get rid of, continue to reach goals that you haven't had time for, maybe, at school or work or whatever the past environment was that you're now getting away from. Getting into a new environment gives you a chance to kind of start over and, you know, be who you really want to be without the restraints of, these commitments that were holding you back, maybe if you didn't feel like you're in the right place or something like that. You can be real. Also, having time away, you can, fight some of those fears maybe you've been dealing with, and it can be, a cleansing experience, and you have that time away from people, and, you can kind of self-reflect. Um, Also, it can give you time to sort of get back in the swing of some relationships, start talking to some people you maybe haven't talked to in a while. You start to feel more whole and refreshed, and, once you're more confident about that and just feeling motivated and ready to start something new after, having that time away to reevaluate yourself, it makes you a lot more motivated and ready to handle the world, when you're not overstimulated and worn out. It creates more positive energy, a higher amount of self confidence, and most importantly, a greater sense of purpose. Um, so that'll make you a lot more ready to tackle projects. And, being yourself in the process will make you be able to, do better work on some of those new projects that you're starting. When you have those positive emotions, that will show in your work. So me personally, I've gotten over, a lot of insecurities while in college and kind of had some personality changes. I think mostly for the better. For example, I've learned to rely on faith more, being confident in what I do, not second guessing myself, trying things when I'm not 100% sure if it will work, willing to accept mistakes and failure, handling a lot more work, not relying on other people's opinions and myself too much, finding more purpose in my life, becoming more assertive, standing up for myself, and, removing myself from people and situations that maybe aren't the best for me. So, I think a lot of people kind of have this change in themselves when they're in a new environment or in college because, it's finally your chance to take control of your life. It's the real deal. You're doing it for yourself. You're kind of taking on the world, and, it's just about you, and it's kind of, creating that sense of achievement that you're earning something for yourself. Um, so I think that's kind of helped me to improve my self-esteem, and also just being around people like my peers consistently. It's kind of a new social experience, learning to constantly be around peers almost 24 hours, rather than living at home with your parents. You kind of have to drop your guard because you can't pretend to be someone you're not when you're constantly around your peers, because, it was easier to do that in high school when you're only around them for a limited amount of time, but eventually, your true colors are going to show in college because you're around them for such a prolonged period of time. And that's okay because college is one of the most important phases of development, because you kind of develop some of those beliefs that kind of are set in your mind a lot of times throughout adulthood. It creates a lot of times, your sense of worth, some of your habits, your sense of achievement, uh, different things like that. So I think, yeah, college and new places like that just give you a lot of reasons to try to be yourself. Um, for example, in some of my field work, I work directly with clients and, I'm going to be in a healing profession. So it's really hard to pretend that you're someone you're not in a healing profession because a lot of times, you know, people can tell when you're giving off fake emotions or fake smiling or laughing. Um, and people respect you more when you're yourself. Um, that even goes for you when you're interacting with your friends or coworkers out, maybe outside of school. You know, it's better to be yourself because in the long run it will make you happier. You won't feel like you're lying about yourself and, you know, kind of those positive emotions of knowing that people accept you for who you really are, that can be a huge self-esteem boost right there. Um, so really just you need to be able to express that to people because, you know, despite maybe some of the negative things you've heard from people who have judged you in the past, you do have good parts about you, even if you don't see it. You do have beautiful parts about you, and you just kind of need to learn to realize that because it will drastically alter, how you interact with the world. Your positive emotions will just make you a lot better able to handle, your work, your relationships. It'll make you a happier person and more motivated to reach your goals. Um, so yeah, that's about all I have to say. And I hope you kind of take your guard down and learn to love yourself for who you are and to show that to people. Because in the long run, I think you'll have a happier and fuller life. Thanks.